To staffing, we did reduce 36 positions out of the budget. That equated to about $2.5 million in all funds, not general funds, but through all funds. And with the possible exception of a couple of positions within our IT division, all of the positions already are vacant, are notified of that. So there are no surprises coming through the end of the year. Water. Where do I start on water? I want to make sure that I get this accurate. And Parks will go into this in greater detail. As you know, CSU issued for our Parks Division for 2013 a 13.9% increase in our water rate. That would have impacted our budget by about $360,000. However, we've been working simultaneously to the budget with CSU on not only not absorbing that increase, but having a reduction in our water costs based on the research we've done comparing ourselves to other municipalities in the Front Range. I believe all of you have a copy of that. Many of the Front Range municipalities don't pay anything for water. Some pay about 50% less than we do. Others pay around 30% less than we do. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Water travels differently, and there's a lot of reasons that CSU can go into and defend the water rates. As of me standing here at the podium, I believe we are going to be successful in achieving some water rate savings. I do not have that definitive statement as of yet, but I believe that to be the case. However, if we are not, it's about $1 million in water expense that's not currently in the budget. It's the original amount I quoted with the 13.9% increase. And then it's us taking the water rate down by 30%, an estimation of what would be a fair rate for next year. So just keep that in mind, that $1 million. Then I feel the need to address TOPS. For those of you who are familiar, the associated increase in TOPS sunsets at the end of this year. So that goes from 15% in the maintenance category down to 6%. So that transition is about a $550,000 reduction in our ability to maintain our parks in 2013. Simultaneously to that, however, our TOPS committee is recommending, it's not yet been approved, we haven't addressed this with you, but Karen can go through this in greater detail, to utilize the 20% maintenance category currently in TOPS in 12. In 13, they'd like to alter that language and have that instead be dedicated to acquisition, be able to be used toward maintenance. And if that is successful in April of 2013, that will transition to be $1.1 million not yet in our budget. So you got the water, you have the TOPS. I do need to tell you about a discrepancy. This was my discrepancy in our zest to bring so many good things to the citizens of Colorado Springs and moving dollars around and adding it for all those wonderful services we outlined. What I was not privy to at the time, or what I did not perhaps understand, is all of the heavy lifting that the Parks Board, the TOPS Committee, the Park Solution Team, all the friends have been working on when they were developing the new TOPS language for 2013. There was a general assumption, nothing in writing, I don't even know if there was a handshake, but nonetheless, there was a general assumption that if they were to be successful in the initiative that I just mentioned, that would contribute that $1.1 million back to parks, that we would honor the general fund contribution that we have in the past from 2012. And so what that translates to is about $630,000 that I was like, yeehaw on the savings from the water. I'm using that for other purposes. They had an assumption that that savings from water would remain in parks. And so if we were in agreement with that theory, the 2013 budget presented to you is short by $630,000 in the Parks Division to honor the commitment to those who have been working on this for many years. And again, nothing in writing, not necessarily a handshake, but a lot of conversations regarding that. And so that, I just want to keep that. And I realize that's a lot of Parks information. When Parks gets up here, I will reiterate, if need be, what I said in that regard. I need to also mention fleet. And this is also hot off the press. It seems like every day it's a roller coaster. But with fleet, It was our understanding, and I now have that confirmed. Well, let me start over. It was our understanding just a month ago that we were going to partner with CSU and outsource or explore the idea of outsourcing fleet in its entirety together. However, they had received a report back from a consultant by the name of Mercury and had decided independently of us, they were a little further along in the process, that they were going to outsource regardless of what we were going to do. And so they were taking a different path while we thought we were a little bit in lockstep and we were going to do this together. And so their time frame is much shorter than we imagined, and that is they would like to separate from us as of the end of this year. And as I understand it, I'm not an expert in this area, they are going to insource most of their fleet, not outsource. Insource approximately 60%, as I've been told. And they think that's a good financial decision. It does impact us negatively as a result, because even though we're still planning on going through the outsourcing process, it takes some time within the city. You develop an RFP, you do it fairly, you allow people to respond, you have meetings, you go through a selection process. So we're on the outside of July of being able to outsource our city fleet division. So what will most likely happen is CSU is going to act very quickly because they want to separate with us by the end of this year, is we will need to part company with many of our fleet employees fairly quickly and honor them and provide severance packages in association with this business decision. And so there is going to be a financial impact that I don't yet know to the budget in 2013. And so we hope to be able to share that with you, but just know that fleet, when Tom and his team are here, they're going to have this information that's less than 24 hours. They just had 24 hours ago, so they're not going to have a lot of dollars to share with you of the impact. But just know that that's out there.